Anybody else want to fill the bucket today? Because you know, our Y4C2Ts over here says teamwork together, everyone achieves more. So when we share our ideas and our successes, we all achieve more. Oh, Kathy Stange is in. I love it. Well, happy Tuesday, everyone. And it's 11 o'clock. It is our Pinellas Keller Williams Chadwick Group sales meeting today, and we are so excited to bring you an action-packed agenda. I'm going to give you a quick rundown. We are going to have a market update with Lisa Spencer. We're going to have a script practice with Jennifer Orns on getting aggressive price reductions, and we have a very special guest today. Our North Florida Regional Director, Georgia Alpizar, is here to bring us some great information about the resources that you have available to you right now. So I'm excited. So Kathy, you are here with us. Will you help start us off with telling us something good?
Absolutely. Can you hear me?
I can hear you and see you, Kathy.
Oh, okay, well, I'm not seeing anybody but you, but that's good. I want to put a big shout out to my team. What an awesome group of ladies we are. We are in the process of getting ready to put a $3.3 million property on the MLS, and it will have a Matterport, it will have a video, and all of photography. If you know anybody that's looking for a home at 2,000 Brightwaters, give me a call. We'll be happy to show it to you. But the point is, I couldn't do it by myself. It's my team that makes it happen. And I'm so proud of Lindsay Van Vlineman, and I'm very proud of Debbie. Debbie's going to be closing 2 properties tomorrow, Friday. Tomorrow's Wednesday, Friday. And they're just doing an awesome job during this pandemic. And I'm just so very happy to be in business with them.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. I so appreciate you filling that bucket. You know who I want to say thank you to, Kathy?
Who?
I want to say thank you to all of the culture committees out there for the 3 offices who just did a bang up job of pivoting through this time and figuring out a way to give back to our communities in very unique and different ways. And I think from what I saw, we all had very successful red days and made an impact on our community. So kudos to the leaders of the culture committees across the Pinellas County Chadwick groups for all that you did to make Red Day a success. And some of us did it virtually, and some of us did it with social distancing, and we all went out and made a difference. So congratulations to those culture committees for making that happen. Anybody else have, thank you, Kathy. Anybody else have a bucket that they'd like to fill today? All right. Well,
Kristen?
Yes.
I see that Miss Maggie wrote in the chat that she wanted to fill Candace's bucket as her coach for being motivating, fun, and supportive.
Oh, thank you, Maggie. I so appreciate you putting that out there, that you are getting value from your PC coach. Congrats to Candace for that. Thank you very much, Maggie, for saying that. And Georgia Mattern said the Seminole office for lunch after beach cleanup. Awesome. Very good, very good. That's awesome. Anybody else have a bucket they wanted to fill? All right, well, let's move forward. I want to show, hi, Lisa.
Hello, hi, everybody.
I wanted to show, the next slide has our market statistics on it. And I know we were just discussing this for a brief second. So the Chadwick group from May 11th through May 17th, we went under contract on 96 new listings. I should say we took 96 new listings. And I'm going to do some comparison for you here. The week before that, we took 96 listings as well. So we are gaining consistency and being steady. The week before that, 98. So last 3 weeks in a row, we've taken a very similar amount of new listings. Last week was higher with 36 million. This week it was 31 million. On sales pending, we went pending on 225 Homes, that's for 75 million. Last week was 247, so right in the ballpark, still way above the previous 3 weeks, which were 162, 169, and 184. So we hopped up to 247, and we're staying way above 200 at 225 from last week that went pending under contract. And then sold last week and the previous weeks, we were at 122, 121, 139, 102. We hopped back up to 123 sold last week with 37, almost $38 million. And Lisa, what I'm seeing here I've been totaling this over the past 5 weeks. I've been watching these numbers. And overall, in the last 5 weeks, we've taken as a Chadwick group across both counties 434 listings. We went pending on almost 1,000 listings, or 1,000 homes, I should say, and we've sold 607. So even if, let's be conservative and say half of those 607 that sold were things that had just gone pending in the past 4 weeks, if half of them went sold, that would be about 300. So we're talking about 1,300 that came off the market, and we only added 434. So that's a gap of almost 900 homes that didn't come on the market, that went off the market, which is great. We're getting things under contract, and we're just continuing to deplete. Yes, right there. That's the perfect place, Anna. We're just, our inventory is continuing to be constricted, to constrict. So that is what I'm seeing in these stats from our group. And I know we're seeing that mirrored in the counties overall. So Lisa, take it away. I want to give you an opportunity to give us a further update from there.
Okay. I can't share while someone else is sharing. So,
okay, so we can stop sharing so you can share.
there you go. Awesome.
There you go.
And let's see. Now I can share, and we'll share. And all right, so this is what we share on Afternoon Team, and thank you to those of you who've been joining us for Afternoon Team. We're getting a larger and larger group, especially Mondays. Fridays are a little light, but we had a really nice group yesterday. So one of the things I wanted to start with was something really positive. In 2019, 906 people per day moved to Florida. So there is huge opportunity. A lot of our residents that move in come from the northern states, which have been very hard hit by this pandemic. And I can imagine many of them are thinking they don't want to face any more quarantines in the Northeast. So I think that we could have huge opportunity, and we should focus on that. So here's the national top 10. The top 10 states for numeric growth, Florida is number 2 for numeric growth last year. And then when we consider in relation to our population, we're number 10 in percent growth. But again, I'm sorry, number 9, but we're still in the top 10. So I think that there are some indications that our market has shifted, and we shouldn't lose sight of the tremendous opportunity that we have as Floridian agents. So here's basically taking that number and what does it mean? The average sale price is always a response to 2 indicators, and that's supply and demand. And that ratio is reflected in what we see as days on month's inventory. And month's inventory, even though we're seeing a shift in the market, is still drastically low. And so this is Pinellas County from 2012 to 2020, March 2020. And I do think if I had a crystal ball, that we'll see possibly a leveling off of those prices, or we could see prices continue to increase, which is kind of the worst thing that can happen, is that prices would increase because our inventory is so drastically low. So what can you do about it? Absolutely make our focus 100% getting listings. Yes, Rachel.
Well, since you didn't have your crystal ball, I asked the Magic 8 Ball if prices will continue to increase, and it says, yes, definitely.
So there you go, the Magic 8 Ball. is correct. And there is some indication of that. So I think it's important. Perhaps some listings that are currently on the market were super optimistic about the listing, and that's one of my favorite scripts is I'm the most optimistic realtor out there, and I'll go to the moon with you on price. However, sometimes we can overshoot the moon, and that's what some sellers did in the early part of this year because things looked like it was just going to keep chugging along upward. So we may have to, I'm looking forward to Jennifer's part where she talks about you know, helping people with reductions. There's a question here. Oops. Maybe someone else can handle the.
It was just me. I was typing that if they have questions or want to know more information about the numbers you're sharing, just to type them in.
Okay, super. Maybe someone can watch that for us. All right.
We're watching it.
Okay, good. From slideshow. I'm just gonna go.
So it's interesting you were talking about prices, and I did notice in the Chadwick stats that our average price that had gone under that had sold in the previous 4 weeks was 338,000, and this week our average price went down to 332,000. That just could mean a different market, it doesn't mean necessarily that prices are coming down. I'm just noticed that our average price on what has sold was different than this week than previous weeks.
Well, one of the interesting things is I wish we tracked median price instead of average price, because especially in Pinellas County with these wonderful $1 million houses and then not so $1 million neighborhoods too. So median price would be much better. So here's the tracking that we use. And the next slide is going to show you how to find this. I assume people know how to find this, but the next slide, if anyone wants to get their phone and take some screenshots. This was published just this week, and what you'll see is our monthly sales are down 30%. And go ahead.
Lisa, I think we're on the wrong slide, or I'm on the wrong slide.
Whoops.
Yeah, we see afternoon team.
Oh, shoot. Let me stop the share and start it again so that we're all in the same spot.
Awesome.
All right. Are we seeing?
Keller statistical reports.
Okay, so got the report here?
Yep.
I don't know what's going on with that, but we'll just work from here. So if you'll see, the average monthly sales is down 30% April over April 2019 compared to April 2020. And yet our current inventory is only down 29%. So it sounds horrible. Oh, we're down, we're down. These numbers are really matching. And in Hillsborough County, they're way off. Our average buyers are down, the number of buyers is down 8%, and the number of listings was down 22%. So that shows a further constriction of available properties to sell, with the demand, although less than last year, still pretty strong. And go ahead.
Sorry, I just want to clarify something, because when we say 30% down, I was thinking it is units that you're talking about,
yes.
But then for to do, and are these average prices?
Yes, this is the average sale price. The average sale price just went down a smidge, though, from, as Kristen was saying, she had 320, but it's 309 to 306, not a real drastic decrease. But what we really want to watch are the indicators. So the indicators are, what is that ratio of homes being sold to the amount of listings coming on? And right now you're about even, so that does not indicate a huge shift. It does indicate a slowdown or a leveling. So I just would really watch this, and 1 month does not a trend make. And that's why I wanted to show, you know, that previous listing here. This one I think is, you know, more of a leveling. Until we have 6 months of tracking, we don't want to run with our hair on fire or the sky is falling, because we're in the middle of a pandemic and 1 month does not a trend make. So it's just important to track it, and these are the numbers we want to track. So here's how you find this. For those of you who haven't been tracking numbers or would like more information about that, this is how you get to it. And then we have Pinellas Realtor Organization is doing these daily reports. And I don't know if any of the other panelists have opinions about what they see on this, but I see tremendous jump in pendings. And that means that demand is still here and we don't have anything to show them. And that's reflective, even anecdotally, in the agents I'm speaking with. Agents that are taking listings, they're going under contract very quickly if they're priced correctly and they're marketable. So big message here, start unturning some stones to find some listings. Any of those people that, I love to look at old expireds, not just recently expireds, but expireds that are a year or two old. Sometimes they're a great resource for new listings because we really have to get aggressive with that. One of the things that's important, statistics are only numbers, so we want to make sure we have the messaging there that we're here selling more homes and we're serving more families, we're more committed to our customers, and we have more locations to serve customers in Tampa Bay. So it's really important that, yes, we have these numbers, messaging those numbers to not scare anyone, but to let them know that, because sometimes if we talk about a market changing, we bring out all these unrealistic buyers and investors that really are out of touch with what's really going on in our market. So right now we don't see the prices shifting yet. And then just what are you doing with this? Are you writing notes? Are you getting in touch with people? I wanted to show people how to get to floridarealtors.org/news-media. Again, if you want to take a quick snapshot of this, they're using the infographic tool. You can get these really cool graphics that you can post to social media that are really, really helpful. If you're going on a listing appointment, make sure the condition is good, talk about flaws in home inspections, some things. And then of course, you know, Keller Williams took 12% of all of the listings in Pinellas County. So I think that that's really important to talk about, that if you're going to list your home, list it with Keller Williams, because we're achieving results and we are servicing our customer.
Thank you, Lisa. Rachel, did you have anything to share from that?
No, I'm just, I love the statistics. Am I muted? I'm not muted. Okay.
No, you're not muted.
I love the statistics, and I know that the agents love the statistics, and they always want to be able to post those and share those. So if you could send those slides to Sheila, she can help get them distributed out to the other two offices.
Yes, because Dana Garvin has already asked, can we get a copy?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And tune into Afternoon Team Mondays and Fridays. I try to keep in touch with the micro movements in the market.
I accidentally did. I was trying to make comments on the Facebook live stream at the same time. And of course it went live. I'm sorry, Lisa, what did you just?
No, I just said we do try to keep up with the statistics on Monday and Friday on Afternoon Team. It's published on our Facebook group, and hopefully you'll be able to tune in. I know there was some people from the St. Pete office. I know Seminole's been tuning in pretty regularly. And I try to look for news and funnel it so that it's in communicative, I don't know, what's the word? I'm gonna make up a George Bush word. So it's easy to communicate with our audience. So the statistics are just numbers unless we tell the story around it.
Why would somebody want to join team?
If someone wants to, it's
no, why would somebody want to? Tell us what's going to get them in there.
Well, what's really great about it is the group of agents that are on it. We have it's anywhere from 5 agents to 25 that have gone. And it starts with celebration. So we get agents telling us they took listings, or can you help me with a listing? We have, celebration and challenges. And then I usually just have a 10-minute or less presentation from something I thought was interesting this week to help us get more listings or help a buyer. And so Also try to encourage people to take a look at their goals and to not, what happens in the world should have no effect on our plans for our life. We just have to keep going. And so it's been a helpful place, not just me, for our agents to encourage each other. I've learned so much from Don Henderson, from agents in our offices. Bob has helped us with technology. So it's a place where we just gather, just like afternoon tea, right? That's why we called it afternoon team. It's a time for us to get together Monday and Friday, wrap to the week with bookends, so that we can start our week and end the week with celebration.
Awesome. Georgia Mattern, am I saying that right? Says that the team is very helpful, good conversation, and helps with mindset. So thank you for that. And I wrote down from your conversation today, 1 month does not make a trend. Does not a trend to make, let me say it properly. And statistics are only numbers. We've got to tell the story. And we're achieving results. We've got 12%. So I appreciate that information. Thank you very much for your stats. And we thank you, Lisa. And we're going to go shift next to Jennifer Orns. Jennifer, I think you're on mute right now. So if you can come off mute, and I think we're just going to hear your voice today. Are you there, Jennifer?
I did. I'm sorry. We had a plumbing issue in our house, and so showers were not available this morning. So I apologize for just being on mute.
That's okay. We're going to put a beautiful picture of you up, and that way everybody can see your face. And,
thank you so much for allowing us to
have this conversation. So I know, tell us a little bit about what's been happening with you right now and with your listings and what you've been doing to get price reductions.
So wanted to just, a very great experiment that we had was one of the properties that we had listed at 600,000 on the water, and the seller was becoming very frustrated and saying, Jennifer, why is this property not selling? And she even said, maybe I need a different agent. You're just not very, you're not the right one. And, and I listened to her, and I just, was very quiet as she was just venting to me and going on and on about how disappointed she was in me. And I said, Linda, I'm very sorry for your frustrations. And I hear what you're talking to me about. And let's discuss what we discussed at the listing appointment. You discussed what price you would prefer, even though we discussed where the market was. And so let's discuss what the three options were going to happen. There were three situations. One, we were going to have multiple showings and multiple offers. Remember that? That was the best marketing situation. Two, we were going to have multiple showings and no offers, right? And that meant the market was going to talk to us and tell us that we were not there yet, right? Or three, we were not going to have any showings and any offers, and that was going to be a price improvement. So options number 2 and 3 were going to have price improvements. So every single week we've been talking, and we've had situations number 2 and 3. Now in this market, it is actually a weekly discussion. I've been setting up my sellers on a showing, or I'm sorry, on searches for their area. So every single seller has a search that they're getting properties to see every single thing that is going under contract. So set your sellers up to show them exactly what's going under contract so they understand where the market is. And then she complains about, oh, wow, why is that home going under contract? Because it's not as good as mine. Well, she finally got serious about her home. We dropped the price and we had 10 showings right away. And now she's exhausted. And you know what? We're still not getting an offer. So now my conversation is again, because you should, in this market where there's barely any inventory with 2.1 months of inventory right now is where we are. We're climbing a little bit right now. We should be getting everything under contract pretty much within 1 week. So my conversations are with my sellers is that you should actually be seeing an offer within 1 week. If we're not, we're going to be doing a price reduction and getting that conversation at the listing appointment and being very aggressive about it, because we have so few houses on the market right now. And if they're really serious about selling, then it's really a pretty easy conversation to have. So, now the conversation with this particular seller is that we're actually forcing our house, or we're actually, do you want to be the house that's getting sold, or do you want to sell other homes? And that's the question I'm having with her now.
Yeah. We can be the house that sells, or the house that sells that helps sell other
homes, right? And right now we're selling other homes because the feedback that we're getting is they're going to look at other properties.
Right.
And so that's exactly, what they're doing is, well, you know what? They did look at your house and now they're going to look at a few other homes. So we're still not there. The market is still talking to us and we're still not there. So we, again, we're showing us that they have a wallet full of money and their choice is that they're still going to go to other properties. So let's look at the data. I'm bringing her back what they have chosen and saying, okay, if you're aggressive, let's bring them back to motivation once again. And the motivation is wherever they're going, and bringing them back to the pain or the pleasure of what we learn again in Pivot, if everybody's going through Pivot right now, which is excellent. And again, bringing them back to that motivation and having those deep conversations, but doing it within a 1 week period of listing the property because there's so few properties on the market right now.
Yeah, the market is telling us how it's responding that quickly right now.
That quickly, and it's not us. And even though Linda was yelling at me right away instead of getting so frustrated, she actually called me back and apologized. And she said, I'm very sorry. I don't mean to be mean to you. And I said, Linda, I understand. You're not frustrated with me. You're frustrated with the market. You're frustrated with your situation. And I understand that. And she said, I get it, Jen. So let's get it down to, and she even lowered it even lower after that conversation. So you know what, all you have to do is just listen to your sellers and understand and be there for them and say, we're going to get this sold for you and we're going to get you to California. We're going to get you to Oregon. We're going to, wherever they're going, you have to bring them back to their motivation and say that we are going to get your home sold, and always be the positive force, the positive person within the transaction.
Right. Jennifer, I'm going to tell you what I've heard you just say. And I would love for in the chat box, tell us what you heard. What did you just learn? There were so many nuggets in that. I heard that you didn't take her frustration personally. You remained the calmest person in the transaction at that moment, and you didn't take it personally. You set it aside and you labeled it what it was that she was frustrated with, which was the market. And it shows that in your listing presentation, you did such a phenomenal job on setting expectations. Well, let me say that differently. You've practiced your scripts and you have a script for your listing presentation, and you said something because you say the same thing every time. And that was that the market is going to show us if we have multiple offers or multiple showings and multiple offers, the market is telling us that we've priced it right. And if we have multiple showings and no office, that means that we'll need to discuss price improvement. And if we have no showings and no offers, so you had a script, you set expectations, and then you followed up with that. And
right. And she still chose to choose a different price. And you know what? I don't know where the market is because I don't make the market. So maybe her price could be correct. I don't know that. So, sure, let's try it. But if it doesn't, we're going to know very quickly in this market.
Right. Very quickly. We absolutely will. And then Georgia said, yes, the 3 options are key for expectations. And you brought them back to that conversation, brought her back to expectations. There was something else that you said that I think is genius, and that is that you're setting your sellers up on a search. So tell us what they see when they're getting search of what's going pending in their area. What does that do for them?
Oh, they see the house is going pending. And then when they see the house is going pending, they get very frustrated. And then they'll call me and say, why did this house go pending and mine didn't? And we'll discuss why. And we'll say, okay, the buyer felt like a pool was very important to them, or a garage was very important to them. And let's see what your house has. Okay, well, we don't have a pool. And for the same price or a lower price, they could have gotten this option. So let's talk about price again and let's revisit this. And why did they make this choice? And so that's why I think that a search is very important for them to see in their neighborhood.
Right. Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. So thank you for this. I think, so my coach asked me today, what skills have you gained through this? And I said, having fierce conversations. And that's what you're talking about. It's just having the conversation and doing it weekly I keep looking at your picture instead of the camera, so I'm like, I'm looking over here to the side because I'm looking at Jennifer. But having those conversations and doing it frequently, that's how we have to respond in this market. So I love that. Thank you.
Jennifer. Not being afraid of your sellers, even, you have nothing to lose. You're really trying to help them. Even if you do get yelled at once in a while, they're not mad at you. They're mad at the situation, and I've had people yelling at me, I lived in this home 20 years and I don't have any value, Jennifer. How come I don't have any value? And I've said them, I've looked them back when I could meet them in person and stuff. And I said to them, did you raise your family in this home? And they said, yes. I said, there's the value. You had raised your family and you enjoyed your family and your children, and now it's time to move on. And you have this other home in South Carolina waiting for you. So you bring them again back to motivation.
Right.
So we said, because it's never about price. It's about where are they going? Because in the end, do they really understand and remember what they sold it for? No, they remember that they ended up moving on to their dreams and their goals, and that is our job.
Right. Right, absolutely. And you remain the professional in all of that, remaining, able to talk her through it, and help her to get back to logic so that she could think through it. So, and then moving her to emotion on what her motivation was so that she could act.
Correct. Let's get you to where you need to go and move you on to your dreams and your goals, because that is heartfelt and that's the emotion of it.
Right. And Diane Geegan says, I liked let's go back to what we discussed during the listing appointment. Absolutely, Diana. That is perfect. Yes. Very good. Well, Jennifer, do you have any last thoughts for other agents out there who are needing to do price adjustments, to have price improvements, to have these conversations? Any other last thoughts?
No, get listings at any price points right now. They're selling. Get out there, don't be afraid to get out there. There's so many people that need our help right now, so many people. And when you do get the price adjustments there, you will tell right away, because the market will speak to us. And man, it's immediate. And then they'll go under contract right away. We put something out on a Thursday and we just got a cash offer yesterday on it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Your activity, your professionalism really helps make all of us better.
Oh, so thank you so much for having me. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Next, we are gonna bring in Michael Reedy. Oh, there's Rachel. Hi, Rachel.
I've been here. I just got something to eat, and I didn't think you guys would watch me.
I know you're here. I know you're here. Michael, are you here with us?
I am. Can you hear me?
I can. We were gonna go ahead and talk about, you've got something to tell us that's coming up this week.
Yeah, so this Thursday at noon, I'm going to be doing campaigns in command. And I know that a lot of people are curious, especially during this time where you've not been able to do open houses and kind of looking for quick ways that you can get leads that are also inexpensive. And I know people keep hearing about command and campaigns, and some people say, I'm going to wait until they figure all the kinks out. Well, while you've been waiting, over the course of the last 10 days, I've been running 3 ads, or rather Torrin and Doug with the Coastal Elite Group have been running 3 ads. I just have the luxury of it being in my profile. And yet the purpose here is to be really intentional about your advertising. So on Thursday, I'm going to be showing you some of the tricks that we're using so that there is a currency exchange. If you've been in any of my classes, you hear about this. If you've run an ad before, but you give them all of the details, there's no reason for them to need to click and give any of their content. So we want to give them a little sneak peek of something where they have to click on the button to learn more. And by doing so, we've been able to get actually 52 leads. Actually, I just checked it right before here. We're at 55 leads. 52 leads within the last 10 days, spending just north of about $79 or so. And so we're averaging at about $1.52 per lead. And these are people that are attracting buyers that are interested in the property, that's creating opportunity for Torrin, our lead buyer specialist. And so if you're looking for ways of building your database, building leads, and you want to do it in an inexpensive way, I'm going to show you really how to take full advantage of campaigns in command this Thursday at noon.
Hey, Michael, with this, and Kristen, I'm just going to pause for a second because I think it's super important that we discuss this.
Yeah.
The reason we have Lisa Spencer on here talking about statistics the number of units selling, price. While we have Jennifer Orns on here about aggressively pricing, talking to customers, talking to your sellers, revisiting expectations. And the purpose of you coming in and talking about how to get leads and an expensive way to get leads is because we want you guys in action. Like, please go out, talk to people, call for sale by owners, call expireds, call your sphere, meet people, and sell real estate, because you are a realtor and it is your livelihood. And you know, everything that you do, paying your bills, your goals, your dreams, all of that relies on you getting into action. And so please don't sit on this sales meeting and take all this information and say, oh, well, it doesn't apply to me, or I already knew it, or once COVID is over, I'll do these things. You've got to do them now. You have to get out and do these activities now. And I know most of you are, and I'm so grateful for that. If you know somebody that's not, let's call them. Let's get them into action. Get them with one of our productivity coaches. Get them in an appointment with myself or Kristen. All 3 offices. Let's keep kicking butt. Sorry, I'm a little passionate about it.
No, please don't apologize. Rachel, this is exactly what we talked about in Power Up this morning with some of our newer agents, with talking to your sphere of influence, because they need to hear from us and know that we are here to help them through this time as they have transactions that come up, and be their real estate expert. So I love that you said that. That's exactly where we're going. And oh my goodness, we have a special guest.
Yeah, there's hardly anybody I know that has, you know, I can come in here and you guys see me and I throw it in a lot of passion and energy. But let me tell you, there's this one woman that I watch that has more passion and more energy than anybody that I've ever seen. And her name is Georgia Alpizar. Can you take the slide off and let's just see her?
Yeah. Hey, Rachel, how are you doing? Great job, everybody. Great job, Michael. That was awesome. Hey, Michael, is Michael still there? And is he still in command?
I don't know where he went.
He might have gotten moved off of the panelists because
okay.
Coming on, so.
That's okay, because Rachel,
back, Georgia.
I love what you guys were talking about, because campaigns, I heard Michael was talking about campaigns, and can you imagine, Rachel, how much business an agent can get off of spending, what, $1.20 for a lead and getting a $7,000-8,000 commission? So it's like, you were just so right on target.
Yeah, love that. Thank you, Georgia. And Michael's going to be teaching that Thursday at noon. And it's right. It's like, stop just hearing about it, stop learning about it, and start doing it.
Yeah. What else you doing, right? If you're not doing that, what else you doing? Knocking on doors, or calling your sphere of influence, or working campaigns? Like, that's why we're in the real estate business. I love that, Rachel, right?
Absolutely. Let's get them into action, Georgia. What do you got for us today?
Well, I'm going to share my screen, because and I'm not sure if Michael shared this with you. So I need to share my screen. So I don't know how I can share my screen. Can you guys give me
access here?
They're getting you access right now, Georgia.
Okay, there we go. All right. So I believe Kristen and Rachel and everybody, what you guys wanted me to do is kind of talk a little bit about what some of the opportunities that Keller Williams is providing for some of our great agents, and how they can utilize some of our tools to grow their business. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, Georgia, what Rachel and I always notice is that our region, because we have you leading at the helm, we always get information before anybody else has it. We go to international events and we're like, we already knew this. Georgia already told us. So we wanted to give our agents the opportunity to get all of this knowledge as well, straight from you.
Well, you know, there's a really great thing that Gary Keller says. He says, success leaves clues and people have lived before you, right? And here's what I've learned my many years, because I just celebrated my 20th year. It'll be my 21st year in Keller Williams. And so it's kind of like I've been around for a while, and I kind of know what's going to be next, because I've been in this company for so many years. And so I always have learned what I learned someplace else. My job is to come back and bring it to you guys. And so I'm privileged to be around and talk to people and get great ideas and teach FSO. And when I teach FSO, it's like, oh, that's coming. So I'm going to bring that back to the region. Or I'm at an RD meeting and they talk about something that might be coming up. And so I go, oh, we need to bring that back to the region. Or I attend a training event and go, that's awesome news. I need to bring that back to the region. So a lot of times you guys are in the forefront of things that I know are coming. And at the same time, I hear things, and so I always love to share it with the region. So like yesterday, I heard on a call, and I actually knew about this from Donnie, and I believe he did a video and posted it on Slack, that now when you guys go into your command, that you can click on here and you have the opportunity to, did you guys already talk about this? Because if you did, I don't want to talk about it again.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you can actually customize your home screen in Command. So Command is not just a place where you put your contacts or have your opportunities or build your campaigns or do designs or all the applets that Command is. It's kind of like having an iPhone with all the little applets you have here. That's what Command is. So now you actually can customize your home screen and you can have all the things, whatever you want to have sitting on your home screen. This is where you will identify it. So now you have the opportunity to click on Playbook, okay? So once you do that, then what's going to happen is your screen is going to be customized, okay? And then you're going to scroll down here at the very bottom, and lo and behold, look at there. You have some of the latest and greatest information. So who do we want to hear from? Mr. Gary Keller himself. And these are, these are all the lifelines. And lifelines mean live your future every day, kind of like bold and living a life by design. We have lifelines. So live your future every day. And so here's where you can see Gary Keller. Now, here's something that you guys want to watch. You want to watch this Keith Cunningham moment. You want to be able to listen to this. Have you heard, Rachel, I know you talk about this all the time, what Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
Oh, yes.
All right, so he was the rich dad, or the idea behind the Rich Dad, Poor Dad was Keith Cunningham. He was the rich dad by Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So you want to really listen and pay attention to this guy because he's got some really, really great ideas and opportunities for you for mindset of working your business. Brandon Green does a phenomenal job, and then Brian Kane. So, and then of course the Mr. Gary Keller, and Gary's going to be on Bold today. So for those of you that are signed up for Bold, you're going to hear Gary speak today at 2 o'clock in our region. So this is one place where you're going to see that we bring really to the forefront some of the opportunities. So make sure that you go into your command and go up here and customize your home screen. So that would be one thing, Rachel and Kristen, I wanted to share with you today. And then the other thing is that just going and using KW Connect, I wanted to take a few minutes and just kind of show you where some of these opportunities are. So every day you have, here's another life moment cycle with Gay Ribby. So that's going to be an hour and 18 minutes. So always make sure that you're looking at what's on streaming there. But more importantly is you have all of these fabulous on-demand videos. So here's some lead gen and conversion. Here's shift skills. Here's mindset. Here's shift book club. Here's pivot power sessions. Here's special sessions. So you've got some of the top people digitizing marketing for luxury properties. Master the luxury market of the moment. I know that you guys are in a luxury market, so there's some videos for you on that. Here, just click here and you're going to see that there's other sessions that are available as well. So I think it's really important that you guys really stay abreast of all the opportunities and all the tools that Keller Williams provides for you. So make sure that you're going in and watching all of these on-demand videos. Then the second thing, resources. Here's skills for shifts. So here's the pivot playbook. These are the value propositions for a shift. Here's learn to live on less. Here's Gary tips on being your best every day, cutting your expenses. Then again, all you do is you click here and it's going to bring up all the resources. The Shift Book Club, Pivot Power Sessions, client communication kits. I think these are really, really cool because right here, this is a client communication kit that says, get ready now, sell later. So when you click on this and you download it, what you're going to find is you're going to find all the tools that you need if you wanted to work with a client to say, get ready now and sell later. And here's the Word document that you would use. Here's the graphics if you wanted to post this on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is that you wanted to be able to use. Here's some graphics here. See, here's an Instagram. So it's already done for you. These are all the tools that Keller Williams is providing for you that, you know, basically is included with everything that you do every day. So I think these are some great tools to be able to utilize. So check those out. And then you've got your pivot partners, Command Your Business. This is all about command. You've got your Mortgage Insider. Hopefully you guys are taking advantage of Keller Mortgage. I'm telling you right now, I went into Keller Mortgage because their interest rate for 15-year mortgage is 2.875. I think I'm at 4%. So I thought, I'm just going to go in and refinance. It is so intuitive. It is so easy to utilize. And it's a real deal about paying your closing costs and giving you the $1,000 back. And they make it so, so, so easy. And what a great tool to be able to utilize if anybody is buying or selling a home with a Keller Williams agent, or even if somebody is buying a house with another agent, but it's a listing with Keller Williams, how they can use Keller Mortgage to be able to get those special deals. So you definitely want to go and check that out. And then all of these things down here, like how to create high converting Facebook ads, how to pivot step 4 and creative and become competitive, coronavirus. So any of these things that you want to click and learn from, these are all the steps in how to create Facebook ads. So there's so much information that Keller Williams is providing to you. And then when you get in over here, you're actually in out front right now. Here's more information for agents. Here's technology related items. Here's viewpoints. Specifically, I wanted to talk to you guys today about Think Like a CEO. This is a podcast that Gary Keller does. So you can get this on your iPhone or whatever phone you have, that texting machine that I talk about all the time. Your leadership will tell you about that. But, and anyway, make sure that you're watching or listening to, excuse me, how to Think Like a CEO. And then this is all here for you. So you can just click on this. I thought this was really interesting. I was listening to this yesterday, Engaging Talent, and Gary talks about how we use our KPA and how you use behavior and how you really want somebody to think like you and be able to take the business from you so you can go out and have the freedom and flexibility or be able to grow your business however you want to grow it. And a lot of times it's things that you know, but it's more about validating what you know. And then if somebody like Gary Keller uses it or other big teams use it, like, why would you not be using that as well? So there's just really a lot of great information that he and Jay share on these. So I would highly encourage you guys to utilize this training and performance. So I just wanted to give you a quick tour of these tools that are available for you. So Rachel and Kristen, what else can I do for you today? Except I do want to say one thing. Rachel, you shared with me on a recent call that I believe your area, and Kristen, you shared this as well, about your market share and how you're outpacing the market. Did you share all that great statistical information? I heard you had Lisa on, and maybe she already shared that with you, or maybe Rachel, you shared that?
We did. Lisa shared it as a Tampa Bay Chadwick group, and we are #1 in our market share in our territory in Pinellas County as well. So yes, thank you for bringing that up, Georgia, because it's important that our agents understand that we dominate this market and we are paving the path for their success with that market share. So thank you, Georgia, for bringing that up.
Well, I'm so proud of you guys, Rachel. I'm proud of you guys for recognizing that. I'm even more proud of your agents because they're the ones that make that happen, right? Because guys, we are here to serve you. Rachel and Kristen do an awesome job of that. The whole Chadwick group and Lisa does a great job of serving all of the agents. And that's why we are here, is to serve you and to help you go out and grow your business to the level that you want to grow and beyond, if that's something that you want to do. And I would be remiss, Rachel, if I didn't always plus something, and Kristen, because you know I'm never satisfied. I'm never, ever satisfied with what you accomplished. And even though you're doing something awesome, I don't want anybody getting caught up, and I know that your leadership doesn't do this, but I don't want anybody getting caught up in the mindset of talking to other people that say, oh, the market, and oh, the COVID, and oh, we can't do a virtual tour, oh, we can't do an open house, or oh, nobody's buying or selling real estate. I know that Rachel and the team there do a great job of talking to you about how many listings are taken in your area. And you've done an amazing job of taking a lot of listings. But I'm not happy until you guys get every one of the listings out there. Rachel, would you agree with me?
Georgia, you know, I think the plussing everybody came from Lisa Spencer. I think she's the one that originally pointed that out. And I got to tell you, being in your region it's been 10.5 years now. You know, that plussing thing used to really bother me. However, here's how I see it now is like you are constantly, like I've never seen you in a room. I've never had a conversation with you privately or publicly where you're not looking for better in somebody and something. You're always taking language and information and tips from wherever you are and applying it. And that is a real skill that I think a lot of us get kind of lazy in our mindset or just comfortable in our zone. And, you know, we already know everything and we don't need to add more. And you've never once in 10.5 years that I've been in your region ever showed that type of mindset. And it's just inspiring to watch. So thank you for that.
Well, I appreciate that. And, you know, for all the agents out there as well, you can be inspiring to others. When you are doing great and when you're hearing information and when you're hearing other agents that are saying, you know, I'm going to call it water cooler talk, or they get in that mindset that nothing's going on out there, that's when you can really, really change, and you can change somebody else's mindset. Because, you know, Rachel, I've been around for a long time, and I know my time is running out here, but I've been around for a long time, that it'll be like 5, 10, 15 years later, somebody will come up to me and say, oh, you don't know that you did this, but you were walking down the hall at family reunion and you said something about something, and that inspired me to go do something. And like, I hear about it like 10 years later. Do you know what I mean? And so sometimes, Rachel, we don't know we're changing somebody's life. It's kind of like walking in a door and you open the door for somebody and they're having like a really bad day, but you open that door for that person. And when they're feeling really, really bad, you've opened the door. And when they think that nobody cares about them, just because you opened the door and showed gratitude or kindness, whatever you want to say, without saying anything at all, you just open the door and say, well, thank you, have a great day. And, you know, you don't know that you changed somebody's life that day. And so that's what I want to leave you guys with is, I know you and your whole team, and particularly Kevin with his Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise, and Rachel and Kristen. I'm not sure what other leadership Michael I see is on here. You all do an awesome job, and they do that because they want each and every one of you to do awesome. And then it's our opportunities to take that awesomeness and share it with the next person, and share it with the next person, and share it with the next person. Because when you do that, you're going to change your life. You're going to change the life of all the agents. You're going to change the lives of agents around you, your whole community. And you guys are going to be so powerful that nobody can take anything away from you.
Oh, I love that, Georgia. I love it. What you just said reminds me of the bold law that people grow into the conversations you have around them. And we keep talking about calling your sphere and having these care calls and having these conversations. Lisa Spencer said earlier that, you know, statistics are just numbers. It's when we tell the story that actually affects people. And we have the opportunity right now to truly shape the story that's being told, so that you never know what opportunities you're going to open up for people when you make those phone calls and have those conversations, so that they can truly see the opportunity that's out there that they wouldn't know if you wouldn't say that to them. So that's exactly what made me think.
Right. And so have that conversation, call your sphere of influence and just say, hey, how are you doing? I haven't talked to you for a while. Even if you didn't talk to them and like through the whole COVID, you didn't do anything, then call them up and just say, you know what? I know I didn't give you a call. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I just wanted to check in with you and see how are you doing. Sometimes we don't want to do it because we haven't done it, so it stops us from going forward. And by the way, there's things that I will admit that I screwed up on and I haven't done, and I think, you know, gee, now I'm going to go and do this. And you know what? Just do it. Just pick up the phone and do it, and apologize for not doing it and move forward.
Awesome.
Georgia, I love that. And you know, Kristen, you shared that bold law that people grow into the conversations you create around them. And that, you know, the beautiful thing and what we're talking about is growing people into a bigger conversation. But there are also conversations going on the opposite end of that spectrum, which can shrink people. And so you have to recognize when we have growth conversations and when we are around conversations that are causing us to shrink. And it's a choice. It's a conscious choice. And, you know, I'm just going to kind of thank you, Georgia, for being on here and sharing so much great information, which that kind of segues us into what we're about to cover. So just thank you, Georgia. Thank you for all.
You're welcome, guys. Thank you. I've got to get on to my next call. I just go from call to call, so I appreciate it. And thank you for inviting me. I love you guys. Make sure that you're on our calls Wednesday when we have Shift Like a Mega. It's on Wednesdays. We send that information out to everybody. I know you guys have a lot of things going on at the same time, but if you have chance, get on those calls, and we love to help you guys. So thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Georgia.
Bye.
So Kristen, you know, just what we were talking about, like people grow into the conversations we create around them, but they could also shrink if we're not careful of the type of conversations. And our passion, our goal, oh, jeez. Sorry, Audrey just walked in and she's got Alexa back here. So is Debbie Stubbs in the chat room? And if so, can somebody bring her in? I don't see Stubbies.
Debbie is not on the chat room.
Okay, she's watching us from Facebook. So in the last week, you know, we are a company built by agents for agents. And I don't think that everybody understands what that means. So when an agent brings us an idea or a need or how they need to be supported at a higher level, what we do is Kristen and I and Sheila and Michael and the whole support team, we get together and collaborate on how we can support our agents at a higher level. And so I just want to give a shout out to Ms. Debbie Stubbs, who brought this to my attention last week. I brought it to our support team, and can I announce that we changed the policy?
Yeah.
And we actually decided to change our policy on recognizing cappers. So in the past, a capper is somebody who caps on company dollar and royalty. However, if you are on a buyer's agent on a team or an agent on a team, you are what we call a half cap. And most times you'll cap on your company dollar before your franchise fee when you are a half cap. Well, you should still be recognized as a capper. It's a huge accomplishment. And so we are changing our policy on how we recognize our agents because we want to create conversations that you guys grow into. And we want to create this environment that you always want to be part of, that celebrates your success. So I'm just saying all this to give a big shout out to Ms. Debbie Stubbs, who capped on And I know we have a lot more buyer's agents out there that have also capped, and don't you worry, we're going to be recognizing you as well with a cap on your head and a picture on the wall. And we just want to say we recognize how hard you work, and we recognize how you are supporting the growth of the businesses within the Market Center, and we love you all, and we thank you.
Oh, I love that. I love that we're ending with that. Thank you to everybody who participated today. Don't forget Michael's coaching. When was that, Rachel? It's Thursday. The Take Command series is Wednesday at 1. They're also covering campaigns. So you have your opportunities to learn how to get leads at low cost and convert them. So please tune into those things that are coming up. And go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say, Georgia ran through so much content so fast, and I was fascinated. I was like, wow, I didn't know this existed or this existed or this existed. So just letting you guys know, this live stream, this is also live streamed on Facebook. I know it's on the Reedy and Red show. It's on the KW St. Gulf Beaches page. It's on the St. Pete page. It's on the Seminole page. It's out there, so you can get it and just go back through, and all of those places that Georgia went to, you'll find them there.
I want to end with this, Rachel. I think it was Tiffany that posted. Mark King said to us on Monday that there is very little traffic in the extra mile. command easily takes you to that extra mile. Just lean into it. So I loved that thought. I think that was Tiff that shared that. Thank you, Tiffany. And we love you all. Go take market share. Keep making your phone calls, and we'll see you on the next one.